respect.
I'll take a step back from hanging out with girlfriends if that's what you want. You haven't asked me.
Yes, I have, but you apparently haven't fucking listened.
When? Tell me right now. Do you want me to take a step back?
Of course I do, and
Okay.
I told you that.
I'm not willing to take a step back.
Hey guys, today we're talking Love is Blind episodes 10 and 11, and it's Meet the Parents.
That's right. And try on the dresses.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're getting to the nitty gritty here, getting close to wedding day.
We're down to 3 couples, too.
And it starts off.
It's dropping like flies, man.
Yeah, Jeremy.
I was just going to say that. You stole my line.
Beats to it, sorry.
Jeremy talks with his mom.
Yeah.
He breaks it down for her what happened.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Yeah,
not
and
that
his mom's like,
sympathetic.
You're lucky you didn't come
Yeah.
home to me.
Right.
Yeah.
She left and kicked your ass out the door.
She's not very sympathetic to
No,
him.
rightfully so.
No.
Yeah. Now, did it feel like he told her the full story?
No. It definitely didn't feel like he told her the full story. That's for sure. Like, I mean, like, because
Nah.
yeah, I'm telling, there had to at least been a kiss in there or something, man. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Now, did any of these like parent talks like impress you or anything stand out?
I tell you what's crazy with this season. I noticed like none of the Meet the Parents stuff was ever at anybody's houses, right? Like in past episodes, past seasons, it's typically like they go to the parents' house, something. This one, like all of them, just like met at restaurants and shit, right? So it wasn't really
That's
any
true,
like there wasn't any really like intimate home settings, you know.
Why do you think that is, though?
I don't know. It was definitely weird, right? It was definitely weird. I thought.
And Chelsea meets Jimmy's family, and she says, we don't really fight that much.
Communicate so well.
We've had a couple fights, but it hasn't been any deal breakers.
I don't even think they've been fights. They've just been, conversations.
Yes. And then the next thing, they're right back in another fight. I was like, holy crap, dude, that was ridiculous.
The
Yeah, it
funny
seems like-
thing about Chelsea and Jimmy in their meeting, it's like when they're talking to other people about their relationship, I'm like, I don't know what relationship you're talking about. Like,
Right, yeah,
what are
exactly.
you trying to give everybody else? Because that's not what's happening, right?
So a lot of people putting on a front to the parents, it seems like.
Oh, yeah,
So,
no doubt.
and that's what you kind of do to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, then you got freaking Netflix gaslighting the shit out of us, like, because in the preview, whenever Amy was like, I got to get my dad's okay, in the last episode, and then in the preview it showed her like crying and shit, like her dad said no, and then no, I was tears of joy,
yeah, Amy and Johnny's meet up with Amy's dad was kind of uneventful.
Yeah.
They tried to make some drama there when it didn't really exist. So
He couldn't have been more supportive.
No, and he kind of had his like Godfather voice. You come to me and you tell me you want to marry my daughter.
yeah, and
Yeah,
how
that's
can he
funny.
not be though? Because I mean, Johnny's he seems like a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he seems he's still confused about
The whole sex thing.
yeah, about protection related to sex and stuff. He's doing his research.
Hey, he's like, I thought they were gonna tie a bow tie around my shit and it was gonna be good, but no, they gotta sniff some stuff. I don't know about that.
Yeah, so I don't think they come up with a solution for that quite yet.
It makes me wonder, like, have either one of these people had sex before with
I know,
somebody
right?
else? Because, like, do they not know how this works? I don't understand.
Crazy.
I guess he said everyone he's been with, I guess,
Has
has
been on birth control.
so-
Yeah.
Very odd. Just put a condom on, man. He's talking about vasectomies and
Right.
stuff. Just
Something about
come
like, I
on.
guess there's like a male birth control pill now or some shit that's coming out. It's like, he's like, I don't know what I'm a guinea pig.
They're resorting to like experimental stuff. It's really wild.
Right.
Like we haven't figured this stuff out yet. So, and I get like he doesn't trust it, but maybe he needs to do more research on that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something, man. They gotta figure something out.
And then let's talk about the moment, like about halfway through this episode, the Jimmy and Chelsea fight.
Like, it's very embarrassing. And now I feel like I'm getting a facade from you, and I don't like that.
I do like to go out every once in a while.
Oh yeah. You mean right after they
Can
just
I
got done
just do a
telling
head-
right after they just got done telling mom and everybody, oh, we're
Yeah,
great.
we never argue. Well, maybe
It's
a
no
little
big
thing,
deal.
but
Can I just do a big face palm right here? Like, in this whole moment it was hard to watch.
now this is kind of interesting though because what they are arguing about is Jimmy going out.
Right, with the girlfriends.
Yeah,
Right.
and he doesn't go out very long.
Yeah.
Babe,
You don't think that I care about you just because I want to go out and like have one drink just to make an appearance for a friend and come right back?
That's not the kind of person I want to be with.
And this was another Netflix misdirection, right? They made it, when she's like, "Oh, yeah, effed her," it's like, oh, she's talking about one of the girls he hangs out with that they slept together.
Yeah,
before, right?
and
when we were all thinking, oh, it's Jessica.
Yeah. Well, we knew there might be some trickery there, but like.
Okay, I have a question for you boys. Is this a problem for you?
Now here's the thing. I can see both sides because,
I totally see both sides.
especially if Chelsea knows that these two have hooked up,
right?
I'm probably on her side with this.
Yeah.
He probably should not be going out.
Well,
with
and
her especially.
And the thing is, too, is if it was a one-time thing, they're friends forever. They hooked up once, and and they're like, okay, that was a mistake. We should never do that again. He should have just never told Chelsea about that, right? He should have just never told her about that because of course she's gonna be like, well, fuck, I don't want you to want to see her if you already slept with her once, so you should have just let that go.
Both of you were wrong.
No, we're totally right.
No, both of you were wrong. Like, I don't feel like she should have any right to tell him who he can and cannot have in his life when they were in his life before she came in. She can either accept it or not accept it, and I totally get it if she can't accept it, and I can see her side of that, but I would never expect anyone to cut somebody out of their life just because I felt uncomfortable.
I'm not saying
there.
Yeah, well, the situation has changed now. Yeah. It's not the same situation as before. He was single and hanging out with your girlfriends is fine. Now he's engaged, and things are different.
Well, and
but that's just his friend. She wouldn't have him cut off his friendships with a guy.
I never had sex with
Bill. You either have to trust him. You either trust him or you don't, and if you don't, then you can't handle it.
Well, he's like, no, you never asked me to take a step back.
Tell me right now. Do you want me to take a step back?
Of course I do, and I told you that.
I'm not willing to take a step back.
Never asked me to take a step back.
He's like, this class fool's like, do you want me to take a step back? She's like, yeah. He's like, I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah, he's like, of course I want you. And maybe he was expecting her to say no, but she's like, of course I want you to step back. He's like, well, I'm not going to do that.
That was hilarious.
That was awesome. But
it was like almost the same breath. He said, I would totally do that if you asked me to. Do you want me to do that? Yes, I'm not doing that.
Well, he never said I would totally do that if you asked me to do that. He was just like, you never asked me to do that.
But he seems to imply like all you had to do was ask.
Yeah. But what I will say, where I do agree with you on this, so when he took them to the family meeting and she met the two friends and everything, she was all cool with it. Like, oh my God, y'all are like sisters and hanging out and yada yada. And she seemed all cool with it. Like everything was good to go. But then the minute he bounces out to go hang out with him alone, she's like, nah, fuck that.
But here's the other thing I don't think a lot of people are considering is she said earlier that she's been in this situation and they cheated on her with one of the friends. Yeah. So this is like flashbacks for her.
But then that's when it goes back to like Ashley said, then if she's not willing to be in that situation, then she should just pull herself out of it at that point, right? I mean, because I get both sides. Because like I said, I get where she's coming from and I totally get where he's coming from. So
I mean, she sounded absurd
that may be something she'll never be able
to
get past, and no one would ever blame her for not ever being able to get past it. But I don't think it's fair for her to ask him to cut somebody out of his life if he knows in his heart that he's never ever going to do something like that with that person, and that is just his friend.
Yeah.
I'm the naivety that I think men and women can be friends.
I don't know.
People don't agree.
Yeah, I don't know about these three either.
Well, this is where the insecurities come in with her, right? I mean, she's totally insecure in a lot of situations, and the fact that when he was like getting ready to leave, she's like, "We don't go." Like
it was just a hiccup. Right? It was a hiccup. But I love when she's like, "We haven't had any fights." I'm like, he left the apartment.
Oh yeah,
like that's not a fight. He didn't even stay there.
Yeah, and then her fucking voice, man, when they get in those little arguments, just her whine, dude. It's like freaking on a chalkboard. I'm like, good God, I can't stand it.
Now this seems like and he's like, I'm done at this point, and that's when she kind of backs off and is like, "Whoa, wait a minute, this is a hiccup."
Right, exactly.
And this seems like a pattern from these two. They blow up, they cool off, and then they try and make up.
Like, even if they make it to the altar and they both say, I do, I don't see that marriage lasting, man. It's just, I just don't.
It's volatile.
Yeah, it's very volatile.
It's toxic and volatile.
Yeah.
And there's trust issues, and that is not going to end well.
Well, maybe they need to have these conversations up front and set the boundaries. I don't know.
Yeah. Something, yeah.
Well, she set the boundary. She said she doesn't like it, and he said he's
I'm not going to do that.
But then she's like, okay, well, I'm going to lose you, so I'm going to go back on that. So it'll just be another argument
Exactly.
Again, just like this in the future.
Well, maybe she needs to go out with him every time then, apparently. I don't know.
Well, and then that's when she was like, I don't want somebody who's going to go out all the time. You told me you were a homebody and you want to stay home. And if you want to go out, and I'm like, who the freak doesn't want to go out every now and then? You know, so get out of here.
I couldn't really agree on that either.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to go, like, I hope Netflix like does in the reunion or something, some kind of roll back the tape, because I can't remember, or if I guess I could go back and watch it. Did he really say those things? Because he said he was very transparent about like the type of life, and I don't think what he was doing was wrong anyway, going out for an hour for somebody's birthday party.
Because she even said, she's like, yeah, you're right, you weren't gone that long. So it's like, okay, well then what the hell was the problem? You know,
I think the problem was he's had sex with
the girls. They're
there.
More than anything.
That's the problem.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, that is a big red flag. So. But anyways, Clay and AD are talking, and Clay's doing his thing that he usually does, and he's expressing some doubts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, why the date? Like, why the hard date?
Right, exactly.
And it's like, well, the show forces this
what
on
this
you.
is.
And, dude, and I do, like, what I really appreciate about AD is through the whole process, she sticks to her guns, right? You know, through everything, she sticks to her guns. Like even this, she was like, look, you know, we came into this process knowing that, you know, it was going to lead to a quick marriage. She's like, and I want to respect that. And if, you know, you say no at the altar, well, then I don't think I'm going to be able to date you afterward.
Now, I'm kind of torn on this one, too, because I think this is pretty fast for Clay. And I think Clay can get there, but on this accelerated timeline, I don't know if that's going to be good for him, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
But I honestly like the way they converse. And they don't argue about it. She's like, I've got your back. Whatever your doubts you're having, let me help you with that. And like, she's very
gonna take him to the
understanding of where
moon.
he's at,
Yeah,
but
that's
not.
right. That's right.
Yeah, I love that. She supports him. He supports her, and they're very much about each other's advocate, regardless of where they are in this journey or doing whatever. And I really feel like they're very supportive of each other, and instead of attacking each other for not being in the same place. And I do like that.
Yeah,
I like the way they work through their issues, but she's like, you can say yes, you could say no. But she's like, but I'm not going to get into some long-term fiance thing. Exactly. And like, I don't know if I could date you if you say no.
Yeah, exactly.
So she kind of lays that out for him. Like, hey, you can turn me down all you want, but we're kind of through if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
now, do you think that's right?
So
for her to like force that on, even though that's part of the show, that's kind of what you signed up for.
I think it's totally right. I mean, that's how she feels about it. And you know, like I said, I appreciate that she sticks to her guns on that, because that's what the show's process is for. And if you got to do like him, like, you know, I'm a cheater, I don't know if I want to get married. It's like, then why the hell did you ever come to the show to begin with? You know, so
well, he's not a cheater. He's just been possibly influenced.
Right, but he keeps saying, I'm afraid I'm going to cheat. I mean, you know, he's basically worried about that, right? That's his biggest concern. Is like, I don't know if I can settle down. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm again, I like these two, and I like the way they work through stuff, and I think they're good for each other.
Yeah, I do as well.
He's got to be committed though, and that's the question mark. I think, can he be committed?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So. But then they have the get together, and everyone's kind of hanging out. And first, Jeremy's not there. And this is kind of interesting too, because there's a few people that eventually come, but there's some that don't. Right? We don't see Matt, which is unfortunate, because I'd really like to know what happened to him.
Especially when the dudes are telling AD, he looks like Clark
Kent.
He
likes like Clark
Kent. They're like, oh, Matt's
really?
They're like, Matt's a damn good looking guy. Looks like Clark Kent. AD's like, what?
She kind of perks up. Right. But you know, we don't see Kenneth. We don't see Brittany.
Yeah, no.
So that's kind of unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I'd love to hear what like Brittany thinks, and you know, there's a lot of rumors swirling around about Kenneth.
Oh yeah, There's his cousin's gone online saying, you know, he's gay, and you know, all this other shit. So I don't know.
These are all rumors.
Allegedly, allegedly, it's
these are all rumors.
Yeah, exactly.
But and maybe because of that, she doesn't come back. I don't know if she found that out by then or not, but
who knows?
We don't see any update from them. We don't see any update from Matt or any of that stuff. We do see people like Mackenzie for some reason come back, though, who aren't big parts of the show.
Yeah.
But all the talk is really about Jeremy and Laura initially.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I appreciate too. I appreciated AD pulling freaking Sarah aside. She's like, "Look,
my god!"
Now that was weird.
Yeah, well, because AD was trying
AD
was trying to kind of be diplomatic about it at first, but finally she just flat out called her out. She's like,
she's like, I seen the text, because she was trying to dodge like whether the door was open, like, who opened the door, who left the door open, and she's like, I saw the text, I know what you said.
Right, exactly.
So she was calling her out on that.
Oh hell yeah!
And she's also calling her out like, why are you going after like, you know, engaged you know,
Madison Gage, yeah.
guys.
Like, he didn't
This
choose you, so freaking let it go, man.
This is AD. This is what I love about AD. She doesn't get upset. She doesn't raise her voice.
Yeah.
She just says, she's like, hey, like she's like a voice of reason and calmness. Like
she was getting
look,
a
I'm
little
gonna call you
upset
out.
during this.
That you definitely have vengeance for me.
Girl, I don't give two shits. You're not fucking my man, so I don't care.
I'm gonna call you out. I'm not gonna let you get away with this. But we can have a rational conversation about this. And Sarah Ann knew she was in the wrong, and she was getting real defensive about it.
Yeah.
And that's when it started to get a little.
She
heated.
doesn't know if she's in the wrong because this is her story too, and her journey as well.
Right, exactly.
And she understands
Until she
the
left.
situation and everything. So, but there is some shadiness going on with Sarah Ann and Jeremy. Even when Sarah Ann is telling AD, she's like, "How did it end?" She's very quiet. It was like, "Well, you know."
Nothing bad happened. He just dropped me off at the house, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
She said that they did not cross a line. They did not cross a line.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure they talked beforehand and got their story straight with him.
But allegedly, she said Jeremy told her that him and Laura are done.
Yeah, that she's
and now
gonna
he's
break
trying to like try and make up to Laura at the same time. And Laura, I love her the way she deals with it.
Oh,
'cause
she wouldn't put up with shit.
Yeah, she doesn't deal with it.
No.
No.
So she calls it for what it is, and she's like, "No, I don't give a crap."
Yep, exactly.
So, and I love that conversation.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, she wouldn't freaking listen to any of his bullshit, and when she wasn't about to put up with that.
Yeah.
And she's like, I deserve this. I deserve better. Like, what the hell are you even doing on this show? You know?
And he's like, "Well, can we
the
just have a
way
good
he
time?"
was gaslighting her, he was getting her like he has the right to be mad at her for her reaction to it. Like, come on now, you were totally in the wrong here.
Yeah, dude,
And he's trying to like make her feel like she's the bad guy. I don't think so.
Yeah, no.
Well, according to him, nothing happened.
Right, yeah.
So he was just hanging out with a friend, and they magically met up somehow. They just both happened to be at the same place, same time. It was a crazy coincidence, I guess.
Right, exactly.
I've
their
heard
story
Charlotte
differs a little
is a
bit on
real
that.
small town.
Well,
I've heard Charlotte's a real small town. You know?
Well, that's just like the night that Jimmy met up with his girlfriends, and evidently Mackenzie was there, right, and supposedly saw him with these girls. So,
and then old Trevor is there.
Yeah.
So, and he's talking to Chelsea. What'd you think about that conversation?
So, I thought it was just a good. I mean, number one, like, you loved Trevor until you found out what kind of freaking dirtbag he is.
Yeah,
right? Reading all the shit
it's
online.
not looking great for the guys this season.
Yeah, no, they brought a bunch of dirtbag dudes in here, no doubt about it. And Trevor's one of them. But he still maintained his like just big, really nice guy attitude and stuff through this conversation. But it's like, bro, we've already seen all the text and shit online, so. It's like, as much as we want to love you, you're a freaking dirtbag, So.
Well,
he's putting on a good show. On this. Yeah. I have an opinion on this conversation, and it's not good on Chelsea. He's asking questions about like trying to get closure of the pod stuff, and that's fine. But then he starts saying, "Are you happy? Like, are you guys fighting or whatever?" And she starts like giving him hints and clues, and she does eventually say she doesn't want to talk about it, but she's cluing him in that there's some conflict there, and that she should never put that out there for him, because again, now she's kind of leaving that door open with him, I think, by doing
I don't think that's as bad as what Jimmy and Jessica were doing. So
no, that's true. You haven't gotten
they
there
had
yet.
that conversation first, though. But like, and Jimmy's telling Jessica, "You're my number one."
Yeah, that was jacked up, man. I was like, "What the hell?"
I don't know where that came from. As I was watching that, I was like,
"It's weird."
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Because he was still like, "Look, I love Chelsea. I'm with her," and he was still maintaining that. But then he told her, "Yeah, but you're still kind of my number one."
What is Chelsea gonna think when she sees this played back?
Oh hell yeah, dude! She's gonna be.
She's already so insecure and all this other kind of stuff.
Oh,
so. Yeah. And she deserves to be mad on this one. Like, why would you say that, Jimmy? Especially if you're committed to her and you're trying to make it work at this point.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Yeah.
Hey, not only is he committed to her, in his opinion, they're the strongest couple there.
Right? Yeah, that was
he's
funny.
getting upset about that, and it's like more than Johnny and Amy.
Right,
Come on now, the people that haven't even had a single argument yet.
Exactly.
And there's Chelsea, like, well, I mean, behind them, I mean, it's obvious they're the best one.
Right. And then he's like, well, if you're joking, then she's like, okay, I was joking. Like, no, she wasn't.
Of course she wasn't. But and Jessica is like trying to look the best she can. She's trying to show some cleavage and get her stuff really out there. I mean, she even describes like, hey, I had this plan to shake your hand, and I was nervous about that, and then you hugged me, and all that went out the window, and
and my body was just like electrified.
Yeah, they're essentially
like
saying
that.
They got butterflies for each other, and it's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
So,
And I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like this connection she had with him must have been super strong emotionally because, like, she's seen him and you see her and
she's way out of his league in the looks department. But
No
I
doubt.
think she just wants to win somewhat too. I don't think she likes the fact that she was rejected.
You think so?
Maybe.
I think so. And here's the thing with Jimmy too. Like, I think in his mind he thinks he could make this work, but what would Jessica think with Jimmy's girlfriends?
Exactly. She made that clear in the pod. Like, hell
that
no.
wouldn't work. Jessica wouldn't
No.
tolerate that either.
No, she would not. Especially knowing that he slept with
Maybe that
one.
played a factor. Maybe that played a factor
Maybe.
in him choosing Chelsea.
Maybe.
And
Because
I
she
don't-
did make that
but-
clear in the pods.
Oh yeah, she did.
And I get like Chelsea rags on him and whines, but like I think Jessica would stick to her guns more than Chelsea.
Oh yeah, no
So-
doubt. Yeah, Jessica.
for
I
sure.
don't think Jessica would back down the way
Yeah,
Chelsea does.
they're not gonna like kiss and make up like the very next sentence
Right.
with those two if
Oh,
that
yeah.
happened. I don't think so.
No.
Nah. But yeah, exactly. No, yeah, I don't think Jessica would back down at all. And again, yeah, that's a good point. Actually, maybe that's part of the reason he made the decision he did in the pods.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
again, you can't really fault the guy if he has friends, whether he's had sex with them in the past or not. That's his business. That's his life. And if he's straightforward, I don't agree with you, Billy, when you said he just should never have said that because then the foundation of the relationship's on a lie and like whatever. But
It's not on a lie.
What he
I mean,
is. It is.
He's just omitting.
Billy,
He's just omitting that
Billy.
because listen, with her self-esteem issues and the way she freaking goes off on shit, like that's just something that she doesn't need to hear, right?
Then it's not the
You
right
know,
relationship.
so-
You should
Well, yeah,
not.
no,
have
it is
to-
definitely
you
not the
shouldn't
right
have to keep
relationship. I
part
don't
of
think those two should
yourself.
be together.
Well, it's kind of like Jessica said, like when I'm with you, I'm the number one, and
Right.
I don't want to compete. I don't
And
want to do any of
anyone,
this
yeah.
other kind of crap. But that's kind of what he's doing to Chelsea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I
I
think
don't
what
see it
I
that
think
way.
I think his conversation with Jessica is very inappropriate.
And I agree.
Now, if the show's like forcing him to do that and get together, I get it. But like, you shouldn't be saying you're still my number one. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like, and if she is still your
When
number
we
one,
saw
then
that
why,
in
then
the
why are you still
preview-
committing to Chelsea?
Yeah.
When we saw that quote in the preview of him talking to her, I thought for sure that was a cut edit of some sort where he was saying, look, I told Chelsea, you're my number one, whatever. And that's what I thought I was going to hear him say. But then it really looked like he told her that.
Oh yeah, he did.
Maybe he was contemplating some things. I don't really know. Maybe he's like, doing the things in his head, like, what if I do this? What if I go with this? I don't know, because he seemed a little standoffish. Of course, this could all be editing. Like, him and Chelsea weren't that close. They weren't kissing initially. They do eventually show them doing that. But you would think, like, if Chelsea saw Jessica and saw him and the way he's looking at her, like, I'm going to go snuggle up to him to, like, mark my territory and
Right,
essentially
exactly.
say, back off, this is my guy, so don't even try anything. But I don't know. I don't know how this happens. Everyone seems to allow it to happen, so...
That's what I was going
Yeah,
right
Jeremy
to.
and Sarah Ann go
Rode
jet
off
skiing,
in the
and,
sunset, man, on jet skis.
and that's very odd because she's venting to him and not even really listening to him. But
Yeah.
and she's kind of
She's
upset
just
because
venting
everyone
like,
else is
I'm
upset
right.
about her.
I'm right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I'm right. I'm right. I deserve this. I deserve to be able to like do this or whatever. And he's like, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think I made the wrong decision in the pods. Hey,
Yeah, and
folks,
she's like, I don't need these people. I got plenty of friends. And he's like, why do you care then?
Right.
So
and she's like, because it
Right.
hurts.
yeah, I mean, AD was drilling her pretty hard.
Oh yeah,
in there.
Yeah,
She-
rightfully
it was
so,
kind
man.
of
I mean,
interrogation.
AD was calling her out for
Okay.
what it
I mean,
was.
it's kind of weird because it has nothing to do with AD, but she was going to get to the bottom
Oh,
of
yeah.
it. So she was playing detective.
She had Laura's back. She had Laura's
Yeah.
back. And let
Yeah,
me
she
ask
did.
you this. As guys, and what's your opinion on this? Was Sarah Ann wrong for even sending that DM
Yeah.
saying, hey, if it doesn't work out, remember me?
Absolutely.
you think that was wrong?
Up until all the rest of the text up until that point was fine, but yeah, that when she threw that in there, yeah, it was wrong.
Yeah, she could have sent him something and been
I agree.
a little bit better. Like, hey, I really enjoyed our pods of time. I guess it didn't work out, but I wish you two the best.
Exactly,
And
something
then
like
that
that.
kind of
Boom.
like subliminally says, hey, I like you.
Right.
Things work good. It just didn't work out, so whatever.
Yeah.
But, so that would have been more appropriate, I think.
No,
She
absolutely.
went a little too far, just like all these other people, like Jimmy.
right.
Going a little too far.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Well, these love triangles, they only broke up like 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough.
yeah.
That's right.
So they go on a couple more dates. They do some ice sculpting.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, they always do something cool like this. Like these are some cool dates.
I like the shoe painting.
Yeah, they do the what was the name of the place? Kicks and Froze.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Where they do some like shoe painting, and that was really cool. I never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
I've seen people do that on like YouTube and stuff, but I didn't know they offer that to like the public to see. So that seems like cool.
That's pretty cool.
Cool little thing that they did.
And then the Carowinds, you know.
Yeah, and then Jimmy and Chelsea. It seems like they have the whole park to themselves, which is really cool. And they're doing like the games and going on the roller coasters and all that stuff.
And you see them burgers? Holy shit, them burgers look good, man. I was like, damn.
Yeah, they had like two burgers apiece.
Yeah. They look good
like,
though, man.
How much you think these guys are eating? But I thought that
you
might have been the best.
You guys must have watched this hungry.
Oh,
You
yeah,
guys
I
must
was
have watched it
hungry.
hungry. I didn't notice food at all.
Well, Jimmy's always stuffing his face. He's eating hot dogs. Now he's got these burgers.
That's right. Yeah, the barbecue had them out. Yeah. That's right. And the taquitos.
Yeah, Jimmy likes to eat. So, what now? It doesn't show the weddings. Actually, the preview for this is pretty short.
Yeah, very short. Like I was freaking typically, man, they'll go into it a bit. You know, this time it's like, no, didn't really give us much of anything going on.
But what did you think about the dresses? I guess I thought AD killed it with that second dress.
Yeah, the first one, the women were like, "Oh, it's so awesome," and I wasn't digging the first one. And then that second one came out, I was like, "Damn, that's the dress right there." I, like,
I thought she killed it in both. That girl looks good in anything.
I mean, she looked good, but the second dress is way better.
Nah, she killed it in both.
Nah, that second dress.
They kind of like skim over the guys. Like I don't even know what suits they really picked, but I hope like
that maroon jacket in the freaking back.
Yeah,
I like
that one. That like purplish maroon one. I hope Clay kind of goes with something like that.
Yeah,
but
Clay told us you're
he was wearing a black on black. We'll see. I don't know, but
no, I think he told us you don't want that maroon jacket was hanging there.
But yeah, what do we think about who's getting married?
But we didn't see any of the guys crying when they were looking at themselves in the mirror. Though,
that's
man.
True. Yeah. That's, women love to get teary-eyed when they see themselves in that dress.
Every one of the women, yeah.
A guy sees himself in a suit.
They're all emotionally.
Yeah, I can roll with this.
That's right.
They're emotionally stunted.
Yeah, that seems like. I mean, it's like a huge moment.
Or is it emotionally mature? I don't know.
No.
But
see, that's a man and woman difference right there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Definitely is. So what do we think about predictions? Did anything change from the last episodes?
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like all three of them might say yes. I was like, damn, after these episodes,
2 are out now.
Yeah.
So
and 3 that are left though is looking pretty strong. I mean, if Chelsea and Jimmy say yes, I don't see their marriage lasting, but I could see them both saying yes at this point at the altar. Of course, they left us hang in with Jimmy asking, "Well, hey, we haven't really talked about like, are we going to say yes or not? You know, how are you feeling?" And she was just like,
That seems a weird moment for her to like pause on that because she's normally not the hesitant one.
Yeah.
So
and again, it just makes you wonder if that's kind of scripting and stuff.
Right.
You know?
It seems like Netflix, like, all right, got to create some drama because we got the weddings coming.
Got to leave it off on a cliffhanger here. Yeah. But no, right now it's looking pretty strong for all 3 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Jimmy, I get the impression that Jimmy has a gun to his head every time he's talking to the camera about his relationship with Chelsea because he constantly says that he knows he's found his person. It's strong. He loves her and blah, blah, blah. And it's like a constant repeat, almost rehearsed affirmation to the camera about Chelsea. But like when he's with her, these arguments, it's like there's so much doubt there. So I don't know. I don't know
you
that
think
Jimmy says
if
yes.
Jimmy had a reset, he'd go with Jessica?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so. But, you know, the funny thing is, the whole funny thing about that argument they had, right? You know, she comes back the next day, you know, because she left, comes back the next day, and he's flat out like, yeah, I've been thinking about it this morning, and I don't want to get married now. I don't want to do it. And then they talk for like 10 more minutes. He's like, okay, let's do it. I'm back in.
And now we're the strongest couple.
Right. Never good. It's like, what the hell?
Exactly.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way in hell these 2 are going to make it.
I could see them getting married.
Yeah, but they ain't
going
to.
I don't know if they'd be together by the reunion.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Probably not.
I think Jimmy is either trying to convince himself.
Yeah, I definitely think he is.
I don't think Jimmy's in it. I don't think he says yes.
They have a lot to sort out.
Oh, hell yeah, they do.
So I'm not saying they can't make it work, but they probably...
No, I'm with you. I think he's trying to convince himself. I think that's what it really boils down to.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just easily convincible, you know? Like, he just goes with what's happening in the moment.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Ashley? What do you think? Who's making it?
Amy and Johnny. They're for sure Amy and Johnny.
That would be a shock if they don't get married. Clay and AD.
It's a lock.
Yeah, I think
Clay and AD, I think, do too.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I wouldn't be surprised if they all say yes, but like freaking Jimmy and Chelsea, man. Jimmy and Chelsea shouldn't say yes.
I'm going to say
but-
Clay and AD do
Correct.
say yes because I think they're good for each
Yeah.
other, and Clay has to know it because I don't see him finding a better situation than what
Oh,
he's
yeah.
currently
No,
in.
no,
So
I mean-
whether he realizes that or not, I don't know.
Right. I mean, AD is a sweetheart. She
Yeah.
knows how to communicate. Just it's like, dude, she's awesome.
And she's got the gossip.
That's right. She gets awesome. All right, well, there you have it, folks. That is our predictions. Now, why don't you let us know what yours is? You know, these three couples are going to make it. You know, one or two of them. It's looking pretty strong right now for all of them. Like I said, I don't think Chelsea and Jimmy should do it, but they're probably going to anyway. As always, we love doing this for you. Love talking to you, and we will check you out our next review. Oh, and hey, by the way, hit that like, subscribe, too.
Hey guys, today
We're talking.
That was awesome.
Hey guys, today we're talking Love is Blind episodes 10 and 11.
Yeah. Got two more to go after this, man.
Yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Look, man, just ignore it or fix it. Just fix it. I'm not going to show you when that happens, so just fix it. I mean, I don't
That's what I
understand
was
why
gonna
you let it happen, though.
It's
Fix it.
Why you let that shit happen over there? Well, you can't even control one little fucking camera.